Hi, my name is Stephani Stephenson, and I'm the owner of Revival Art Studio here in St. David, Arizona. And I'm an architectural ceramist and a tile maker, which means I make tile and clay that goes on walls. These are some examples of some relief sculpted tile, my scenic tiles, trees, ravens. I also make flat tile and trim and sculpture. Today I'm going to show you how to press a relief tile out of clay. I use pottery clay, which comes in 25-pound bags. First thing I do is I need to cut a piece of clay off of the bag, out of the bag here. Just use a wire clay cutter. And now I'm going to get the clay into roughly the thickness that I will need. So I'm going to use a slab roller, which I can set the thickness for. The way this works is I just roll it through using two pieces of canvas so that the clay doesn't stick to the rollers. Smooth out the slab, get rid of the canvas marks. Today I'm going to press a tile that is a jaguar tile. It's part of an endangered species series that a national clay company does. So I've made an original sculpture of a jaguar out of modeling clay, and I've poured plaster around it to make a plaster mold. What I'm going to do is cut out a round shape, press the clay into the mold, and then release it. First thing I do is cut out a shape of clay that is the same size as the tile. Place this pug of clay in here, and the tool that I use is very technological. It's called a tamper, and it's just a wooden turned block of wood with some canvas on the bottom so it won't stick to the clay. Start in the middle, and I just start pressing, and I try to make sure that I cover the whole thing evenly, and especially press down into the corners because that's hardest part. Just take a stick. This is called screeding, where I take a stick and I pull the clay off, fill in some holes with the tube. Now this is a good point right here if I'm going to make a hanger. This one yet to show where the top is, but I go ahead and make a mark right here to serve as a hanging device, and I could also sign the tile before I remove it from the mold. The next step is removing the tile from the plaster mold. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can release the tile. The first would be just to set the mold out and let it until the clay starts to shrink and it will release itself from the tile, but when you're producing a lot of them you need to release it quickly. I'm going to use an air compressor to release this tile. Alright, the way I do that is I hold the tile up at an angle this one's being a little stubborn. Help. It could be that I haven't, but I still have a little bit of an undercut here. So this is the tile right out of the, let me get some light. This is the tile right out of the mold. Now this is a new mold, so what I'm going to do is check to see if I've got any undercuts. You can see right there that that's what was hanging it up. So I'll carve away the plaster so that this tile will release a little better next time. Now since this is going to be for Laguna Clay Company, as part of their Endangered Species series, I've also got to add a little area here where I can have the name of the species, which is Panthera onca, a jaguar which is found here in southeast Arizona, and also the name of the sponsor of the tile. So this is raw clay. This will need to dry for about 1 to 3 weeks, and I'm going to make 500 of them. And once they're dry, I will fire them. First time just to drive all the water out, which is called the bisque fire, and then the second firing will be a glaze firing. And this clay will be kind of a golden color, and I'll be adding the black glazes and underglazes during the second firing. In addition to making tile, I also teach workshops. I teach workshops on tile making, sculpture, and architectural ceramics. The workshops are for people of all different skill levels, from beginning to advanced.